that we are going to do today is a practice that can be done from your bed. It can also be done lying on the floor on a mat. And we are going to be using just a couple of props today, maybe a couple of pillows, maybe a blanket if you tend to get cold and you feel like you might need to cover up at any point. And then a pillow maybe for your head, maybe a pillow for your legs. So just take a moment to gather up any props that you might need. And we're going to begin with a mudra. So we're continuing to explore our use of mudra for meditation and yoga. So let's go ahead and warm up our hands. Take a big clap and rub those hands together. And then inhale and bring the hands apart. And exhale and clap again. And let's do that one more time. Inhale, clap. On the exhale, starting to vigorously rub the hands together, creating that friction and turning on the energy of these 72,000 channels of energy we have moving through our bodies, all coming together, the power of the hands. So remember to rub in between the fingers, the tops of the hands, and then just take a pause and bring the hands just a few inches together. Sort of pulse them in and out without actually touching, and see if you can feel the pulsation of that energy. Excellent. So now let's come into our mudra for today. So the mudra that we're going to be working with today is called Vyana Mudra, and it actually is about expansion. So the way that we perform this mudra is to bring the hands up, and you're actually going to touch the thumb and the index finger together, and then the middle finger folds in to touch the midline of the thumb, and then your ring finger and your pinky finger is extended. So from here, just take a moment to sit nice and tall on the edge of the bed or on your mat, and just let these hands rest palms facing up with this mudra. And start to feel, as you sit, your roots. The roots through the feet, through the legs, and through the sit bones. And then from there, begin to expand and bring greater space into the body as you lift your rib cage off of your pelvis and lengthen up through the spine. Let the elbows rest gently against the ribs and feel the shoulders relax. And now, as you're breathing, just take a moment to close your eyes and sense into the quality of expansion. As you breathe in, feel the rib cage expand all the way around your body. And as you exhale, feel that quality of release, fully and completely squeezing each drop of air out on the exhale. Recognizing that sometimes, in order to fully expand and receive a new breath, we first have to empty fully so that we have that container, that space in the body to receive. Let your inhale get a little bigger, a little brighter, a little bit more expansive. And let your exhale be more complete as you squeeze every drop of air out. let's do just a few more of these breaths. Now from here, whenever you're ready, go ahead and blink your eyes open, let your hands relax. Take a moment to wiggle your fingers, move your wrists, and then let your head move just a little bit, maybe dropping the ear from one side to the other, making some circles. Just let the head move on the shoulders. And now we're going to go ahead and transition to lying on our back. So as we move through this practice today, continue to move your awareness to the space that we're creating in the body. The space of ether, the element of ether, and the space that we create in the rib cage, in the spine, in the shoulders, and the hips. So go ahead and make your way to lying on your back. And feel free to bring a pillow underneath the head if that feels appropriate for you. We're going to start with a little diamond W to create space in the shoulders. So begin by finding your mudra, your Vyana Mudra, thumbs and index fingers together, middle finger touching the middle of the thumb, and then extending ring finger and pinky finger. Then let the hands rest in this shape on the belly. Bring your elbows wide and let them bend sort of like the shape of a diamond. Gently let the knees rest together and feel the feet flat on the surface beneath you. Now take a deep breath, feeling that full expansion of the body all the way around the rib cage. And then on your exhale, pivot from the elbows to bring the hands up toward the sky. So the elbows are going to stay on the bed, the upper arm stays on the bed, and we're simply creating a perpendicular forearm to the surface beneath you. And then feel your shoulder blades press down into the bed and lengthen through the back of the neck. Let the chin move away from the chest just a little bit. And then from here, start to let the forearms fall back so that they're coming toward the surface beneath you, keeping the elbows where they are, finding this W shape of the arms. Now your wrists might meet the surface beneath you, or they might hover a little bit depending on the range of motion in your shoulders. So we're using this action to create space in the shoulders. Now on your inhale, you're just going to pivot the arms back to that perpendicular forearm. Take another breath. And then on your exhale, let the hands come all the way back to the belly. So let's do one more of these slowly, broken down in that same way. So take a breath in and bring the arms back to that perpendicular forearm, keeping your mudra of expansion. Take another breath. And then on your exhale, go ahead and let the forearms drop into that W shape, feeling the shoulders rotate, the shoulder blades moving onto the back, opening the heart space. Good. Now let's bring it back to perpendicular. Pausing there for a breath. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, go ahead and come back into your diamond so those palms come to the belly. Now we're going to move in and out of this with each breath cycle, so just a little faster here. Take a breath in, and then on your exhale, move slowly all the way into that W. Feel the shoulders rotate. And then on your inhale, come back to the belly with the hands. Let's do this a few more times. Exhale, W. Feel the shoulders open, the chest opens, the heart space opens. Inhale, back to your diamond. Exhale to your W. Nice. One more time into your diamond. And now into your W. So while you're here in your W, feel your shoulder blades press down into that surface underneath you. Maybe even press the back of the hands and the wrists. So you can feel the shoulder blades moving onto the back, the heart space open. Now draw the navel in to support the lower back. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Make sure the chin is slightly away from the chest and very gently press your head into the surface beneath you. So you're feeling this gentle action in the back body to expand the front body, to expand the heart space, to expand the rib cage, to lengthen through the neck, and to reinforce an open-hearted posture. Take one more breath in the action of pressing down. And then on your exhale, just relax everything. So relax the hands, letting go of the mudra. Relax the shoulders, the press of the head, and the arms. And just feel the space that you've created across the front of the chest, the collarbones, and the shoulders. Feel the length that we're creating in the neck. Now, if you can keep your arms in this W shape and they're fully supported by the surface beneath you, just stay here with the arms. If you need to adjust your arms in any way, go ahead and do that now. We're going to move the awareness up to the neck and the head. So let's take another moment to inhale to create a little bit more length in the neck. And then just let the chin move away from the chest so it's not tucked. And slowly turn the head from side to side. Left ear moves toward the surface beneath you on an exhale. Then inhale back to center and exhale to turn the head to the right. And let's do this a couple more times. Inhaling and exhaling as you turn the head. Now very gently as you turn the head, begin to press the head into that surface beneath you. Just a subtle press. So we're strengthening the muscles in the back of the neck that bring us out of that forward head protrusion that's very common in our posture. So as you turn the head, maybe you press the ear or the temple toward that surface underneath you. As you come back to center, continue to press as the head rolls to center back. And then gently press as you roll the head to the other side. When you're ready, just come back to center and take a moment to rest here. Now we're going to come into our prayer wheel. So go ahead and take the arms up over the head. Take a big inhale. And then reach the arms up toward the ceiling on your exhale. So you're going to bring the palms of the hands together. And we're just going to start to spin the hands. So we're going to begin by bringing the thumbs toward the chest. And then as the thumbs come toward the chest, you're going to flip so that the backs of the hands come together. And then move the fingers away from you. Start to spin the fingers back up toward the ceiling as you flip the hands back to the palms. Bring the thumbs toward the chest. Flip the hands to the backs of the hands. And you're just going to keep spinning this prayer wheel. Let the elbows and the arms move so that you can find a comfortable range of motion. So as we move this prayer wheel inward, and just let the gaze follow the fingers here. As we move this prayer wheel inward, it is about going inward, creating that smaller view, letting go of everything outside of ourselves to see what's going on inward. So now we're going to change direction of this prayer circle, or prayer wheel. And go ahead and start to spin the hands in the opposite direction, moving the wrists. And this is more about expansion. It's about taking our awareness more outward, being more inclusive, creating greater space in our awareness. So let's do about 3 more of these prayer wheels, really coming into that expansive view of ourselves, of the world, our bodies, and our practice. And then bring the palms together, reach the arms up toward the sky. And then bring the hands apart, reach the arms back behind you. Take a big stretch. Lengthen out through the legs now. Feel as you reach the hands back behind you that you're reaching the legs away from you, out in front of you. Finding that space in the body as you wiggle the rib cage and the pelvis in 2 opposite directions, creating more length in the spine. Feel the toes reach away from the fingers. The heels reach away from the shoulders. Take a big inhale into that space you've created. And then on your exhale, let your arms come down into maybe that W shape or down by your sides. And then bend the knees. We're going to go ahead and fold the right leg into the body and bring the hands somewhere onto that right leg so that you can use the arms to guide the knee in a little closer. And let this be a gentle folding of the leg into the body. So the right hip is folding, the crease of the right knee is folding. And let's just take a moment to create some space in the joints of the feet. As you inhale, draw the toes back toward the shins. And as you exhale, point the toes away from you. And do that a couple times on this right foot. Just feel the ankles starting to move as we stimulate lubrication, synovial fluid in the joint of the ankle, some flexibility. Now begin to make circles with that ankle. Take 2 or 3 circles in one direction and then go the other way. Nice and slow, nice and easy. Wiggle the toes. And then relax the foot and see if you can fold that leg into your body a little bit more. Let the shoulders relax onto the back. Find that length in the back of the neck. Just move the chin off of the chest a little bit. And then if you'd like, you can take that left leg and just lengthen it out onto the bed. So reaching through that left heel, drawing the left toes toward the left shin, continuing to let the shoulder blades melt onto the back, drawing the navel in slightly to support the spine, and finding that big expansive breath as you inhale, and that complete exhale, drawing the navel in to fully empty the breath container so that we can create the space for that next expansion. So just recognizing the release, the letting go quality that is needed in the exhale to create the space for your next expansion. Now from here, whenever you're ready, release the right leg all the way down to the surface beneath you and reach the arms up over the head again. Take another wiggle, finding that space from the rib cage, moving away from the pelvis, the heels wiggling away from the shoulders, the side body lengthening, the rib cage expanding, the spine lengthening, the breath moving into that space that you're creating. And then on your exhale, let your arms come back into a comfortable position. Maybe it's that W shape, maybe it's arms down by your sides. Go ahead and bend the knees. Take a moment here to feel the gentle press of the shoulders and the length in the neck. On your next exhale, go ahead and fold the left knee into the body. Bring the hands onto that leg and gently fold the leg in toward you. Use the arms to guide the leg into the body, folding at the left hip crease, the left knee crease, keeping the shoulder blades relaxed onto the surface beneath you. From here, we'll begin to move the foot. So as you inhale, draw the toes of the left foot toward the left shin. And as you exhale, point the toes away from you. Do this a couple of times, inhaling and exhaling, stimulating the left ankle. When you feel ready, begin to find those circles, moving the left ankle 2 or 3 times in each direction. Take a moment to wiggle the toes. Finding stillness now as you relax the foot. Maybe fold the leg into the body a little bit more. And if you'd like, you can extend the right leg down onto the bed, reaching through the heel and drawing the right toes toward the right shin. Take a moment to breathe here. Feel the expansiveness of the rib cage as you breathe in, and that complete release as you breathe out. When you feel ready, go ahead and release the left leg. Stretch the arms again back behind you, taking that long, full body stretch, creating space as you wiggle, finding the expansive breath in that space. From here, we're going to go ahead and bend both knees, bringing the 2 feet flat to the surface beneath you. I'm going to invite you to bring your arms back into that W shape, if that feels comfortable for you. If not, you can bring your arms down by your sides. We want to try to continue to create space in the shoulders and the chest. So let your fingers spread and press the shoulder blades down into that surface beneath you. Press the backs of the hands down or the palms, depending on the position of your hands. Begin to press down into your feet and just feel the muscles of the back body engaging as we prepare to create space in the front body once again. Now draw the navel in toward the spine and imagine you're pulling your heels toward your buttocks, but they're not actually moving. There's just an isometric action here. Now we're going to start to lift the pelvis any amount off of the surface beneath you. From here, lengthen through the back of the neck and gently, very gently press the head down. So once again, you're going to feel these muscles in the back body engage to open the front body. When you feel ready, release the hips back down. Take a moment to relax and to feel the vibration of the space that we've created, of the breath moving, and of the energy that's being stimulated through the actions of these postures. Let's do another bridge pose here. So feel free to adjust the position of your arms if that feels appropriate for you. Begin to engage the pressing down through the backs of the hands or the palms, the wrists, the shoulder blades, the feet, and the back of the head. As you begin to lift the pelvis, maintain that space between the chin and the chest. Maybe lift a little higher this time. Find the four corners of both feet equally pressing. Feel the heart space open. Find the breath. Feel the expansiveness in the breath as it moves into the heart space, the solar plexus, and the sacral chakra. As you exhale, squeeze the belly, releasing every drop of air to create space for that next breath. When you feel ready, release the hips. Once again, take a moment to relax and to feel. Let's do this one more time. Engaging the back body, finding those gentle presses, finding that lift of the pelvis, feeling as you breathe the expansion and the release, those two opposites coming together to move the prana, the life force. Now, when you feel ready, release those hips. Take a moment to lengthen the legs out now. Relaxing the whole body. Now from here, we're going to bend the left knee and bring the right leg up in the air. Just reach that right heel up toward the sky. Draw the toes back toward the shin. Feel the quadricep muscles in the upper legs fire to stretch and open the hamstrings. Now from here, we're going to play with internal and external rotation. So from this hip joint, you might even take your two hands onto your upper thigh. Feel like your two hands are going to turn the thigh in, so the toe turns in, and then turn the thigh out. And you can let the hands really grab that thigh and move the leg in that hip joint. Do that a couple more times. Internally rotate, turning everything in, and then externally rotate. So you can feel this ball and socket joint of the hip. starting to loosen up, again creating a little stimulation to lubricate that joint. Now turn the toes out and the heel in from that upper thigh, and then let the ankle just rest on the left thigh. So now just take your right hand high up into that hip crease and push that thigh away from you. Let your left hand find your mudra here. Thumb and index finger together, middle finger to the midline of the thumb, pinky and ring finger extended, and bring it into either a cactus shape or a W shape down onto the bed. Now, when you're ready, you can start to rock the pelvis from side to side here. So this is a very gentle twist. So even for those of you who may have issues in the spine with discs or herniations or something like that, this is still a twist that's gentle enough that it should help to create space without agitating any nerve injuries. So let the pelvis come to center, and find the mudra now on the right hand, index finger to thumb, middle finger to the midline of the thumb, pinky and ring finger extended, cactusing or Wing that arm onto the surface beneath you. Energetically continue to move the right thigh away from you, and then see if you can just wiggle your left heel a little closer to your left buttocks. So you can stay here and continue to rock or move, or if you want a little bit more, you can release the mudra from the hands and grab your left thigh with both hands. Just start to pull that left thigh in a little bit. Right elbow can press into that right thigh. Just flex your 2 feet to protect the knees. And your left leg can stay bent to about a 90-degree angle, or if you want a little hamstring stretch, you can reach that left heel up toward the ceiling. So just see what feels right for you. We're creating space now in this right hip joint, and if you're extending the leg, we're creating space in the back of that left leg. Option to rock here if that feels appropriate for you. And see if you can find that big expansive breath. Make your way back to center. If the leg is extended, go ahead and bend that knee. If you have your left thigh in your hands, gently release that. Take your right heel up toward the sky. And then on an exhale, slowly lower that right leg all the way down. When it meets the earth or the bed or the mat, just give it a little wiggle and then relax it. Now from here, we're going to bend the right knee, put the right foot flat on the bed, and take the left leg up in the air, left heel reaching toward the ceiling or the sky. We're going to find that internal-external rotation. So bring your 2 hands, those energetic, magical hands, onto the upper left thigh. And actually using those hands, let's turn the toes in, turn the whole thigh in, and then turn it out. And do that a couple times. Again, just warming up this hip joint. Notice if one side feels a little different than the other. That's very common. Just like we have one dominant arm or hand in the upper body, the same is true for the lower body. So we might find that there's one side that's a little tighter, a little stronger, a little more flexible. Now let's turn it out. Bring that outer left ankle to the right thigh. Take your left hand high up into that hip crease and just press your left thigh away from you. So starting to feel that stretch in the hip joint. So again, you might find that this is enough. Maybe you hang out here. On your right hand, find your mudra. And then find either a cactus or a W shape with the arm. Feel the expansion in the shoulders and the length in the back of the neck. From here, you can begin to rock that pelvis from side to side, any amount. So find a range of motion that feels comfortable, but that also gives you a little stretch in that left hip. Keep the breath big and expansive. And then gradually find your way back to center. So from here, we're going to find that mudra with the left hand, cactusing or Wing the arm onto the bed. And maybe that right heel can wiggle a little bit closer to the right buttocks as you energetically continue to move the left thigh away from you. An option to stay here, maybe you want to rock a little bit more, or if you want more, release the mudra of the hands and just bring both hands to the right thigh. Lift and pull the right leg in as you press the left elbow into the left thigh, flexing the feet to protect the knees. And the right leg can bend to a 90-degree angle, or we can stretch that right leg up, finding a little opening in the back of the leg. An option to rock a little bit more here if that feels appropriate. Or just pause and center. Let yourself take another breath or two here, full and expansive in that rib cage. And then when you feel ready, if the right leg is straight, go ahead and bend it. If you're holding your right thigh, release it. Let the foot come to the bed or the mat. Take the left heel up in the air, stretch it out, take a big inhale, and then on your exhale, just lower that leg all the way down to the bed. Go ahead and let the right leg extend to meet it. Let's take another full stretch here through the body, wiggling that space into the body. Take a big expansive inhale. And on your exhale, bring both knees into the body. So take a moment here to hug the legs, to rock a little bit from side to side. So we've really created some space in the shoulders, in the neck, in the side body, and in the hips in our practice today. Maybe make a few little lower back circles here if that feels appropriate. And then I'm going to give you the option to set yourself up in whatever way feels appropriate for our meditation today. So you can bring one pillow underneath the knees, or even two pillows if you want a little bit more elevation. You can bring a pillow behind the head. Begin to feel that each exhalation is emptying the breath container to create space for that next expansion. As you breathe in, feel the expansion. Feel the space that you're creating inside of the body. And as you breathe out, allow yourself to let go so that you're feeling a full release of the body into the surface beneath you, surrendering all of the tension. And you're welcome to relax completely here and simply visualize our Vyana Mudra. Or if you'd like to take the hands into your Vyana Mudra as you're resting here, let your hands rest on a comfortable surface. You can do that as well. The Vyana Mudra is the mudra of expansion. It's about expansion and just creating enough space for everything, for whatever's going on in your life, in the world. It's about saying yes and expanding. As you take those slower, deeper breaths, let yourself begin to create the experience of yes and. As you inhale, yes, and my lungs can expand even more. And as we exhale, yes, and my lungs can contract even more. So we're using the capacity of prana, the life force, expanding the inner body to say yes to more life. And saying yes to more life requires the opposite. It requires that we exhale even more fully and empty everything out to create room to receive and expand. And as you feel into this, feel how you can receive all of yourself right now. Whether you're energized or you're tired, whether you're frustrated or you're delighted, whatever's in the emotional body, say yes. Yes, that's here too, right now. And there's more. And at some point, you can allow the deeper breath to fade, or you can keep it going wherever your curiosity is. And you might notice thoughts, a thought, and you can say yes to that thought. Yes, and there's more. And feel in the and that there's room in the universe for everything right now. There's room for all the changes that are happening. There's room for all of our competencies and all of our incompetencies. There's room for our fear and our courage. There's room for our reactions and our proactions. And there's room to grow. The universe is expanding millisecond to millisecond, and that's our reality too. We live in an expanding universe, and we're in a body here on this planet. So say yes to your body as it is right now. Even say yes to any symptoms that you may have in your body. And allow your body to expand. And there's room for change. Change, which is the nature of the expanding universe. Say yes. Yes, and there's more. There's more space, more akasha. There's more life, more prana. There's more dynamic change. And I am adapting. Yes, and I am a part. I am the same as the universe. And I am expanding. And there's room for everything and everyone, and there's more. And there's where the known meets the unknown. And the known is expanding into the unknown. And the unknown is expanding. And there's more. And there is space for all of it. All of the paradox. Yes to what it is right now. And there's more. And it's going somewhere. And I'm a part of it. Yes, and the universe is vibrating and has a pulsation and a rhythm. And I am pulsating and I have rhythm. And there's more. And there's room. There's room to grow. There's room for me to grow. A thought, a sensation, a symptom, and there's space. Space to absorb, to transform sensation and vibration, and there's more. And I'm becoming more. Yes, and there's the stillness too. And it's expanding. And I'm expanding. And I'm here, I'm rooted, and I'm expanding. And there's more. Yes, and there's more. So let yourself breathe into this expansive vibration, this field of energy that brings us all together. Every living being on this planet and the universe. The universe is always expanding, and the medicine of ether, of space, is vibrational. Now let yourself take a big inhale through the nose and a full exhale through the mouth. And And just let your awareness come back to your physical body. Feel your long legs, your long spine. Feel this physical body and the expansiveness with each breath. As you feel ready, let yourself begin to move in small ways, gradually making your way back to opening the eyes. And allow yourself to linger. There's no rush to get up today. The light in me sees and honors that same light in each of you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Namaste.